So obviously I've been watching some of Markiplier's new video.
Wait, what, are you talking security breach or what?
Yeah, I'm talking
Don't
about the deal.
Say
I'm
anything.
not going to say anything, I'm just saying.
Oh, hey, Dean. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to trap you down here. Dean, I have the door closed. You either gotta stay down here or leave. You gotta pick one.
This is the Dean episode.
Dean.
Right.
Carter figured it would be a good idea to get some alcohol in him.
I don't even have that much, but it's been a long week this week, so...
He'll get progressively more and more confident as this episode goes, probably.
100 views, the top podcast episode for no fucking reason. Dude, is it...
Yes, we're recording. Once you're done gasming, then we can get going.
Fucking gasms.
Lolgasms you.
God, I love the lolgasm.
Rar.
That would be my second pick for the podcast name, lolgasm.
That would have been a great name 10 years ago.
Welcome to lolgasm, where we lol and we gas.
God.
What?
No, that's...
What's wrong with you?
Some fucking Ray William Johnson shit.
Shit, man.
Didn't he die?
What?
Didn't he die?
What? Like, pass away?
Yeah, like, didn't he just fucking kaput?
What, like on YouTube or like as a person?
Like, as in his heart stopped.
What, like his passion for making videos or like his life support?
Like the man got fucking bereft of life.
I don't know. I don't know.
What a possibly tragic loss.
Yeah, my heart goes out to someone maybe.
Dude, I'm sorry for your loss.
This is so insensitive. This is horrible.
It's a good episode already. I'm feeling it.
That's what you should do when you, like, introduce yourself to strangers. Hey, how are you doing? I'm sorry for your loss, if it might have happened. And, like, one of those times that's actually gonna hit.
That's gonna scare the shit out of him.
Yeah.
That's not gonna comfort a soul.
Hey, sorry about your father. And if your father's still alive, I'm really sorry about that time that he, like, spoke to you sternly.
God, I feel really bad for the time that your mom, like, didn't make you the food that you wanted her to make.
Really sorry about that time that you threw a goddamn tantrum and stubbed your toe. That was rough.
How do I know this? I just know.
I have connections.
I'm stretching my neck. Give me a second. Ooh.
Yeah, just take your time, I guess.
What if that was just the episode, just me for 1 hour being like, oh man, I gotta like do some shit. It's just you guys waiting. I'm like, alright, that's the episode. Aiden's our winner.
After like an hour, you're like, alright, here's the game. Quiz. At which minute during this episode did I say,
Ah.
I just win because I was more patient.
When one of you guys brings it up, the other person wins.
Yeah, the first person to criticize your episode loses.
That's a good idea. I love that.
I guess it can be whatever you want. The only thing you gotta contend with is that I like to cut stuff a lot.
Just silence.
It's like a 3-minute episode.
whoever speaks first loses.
Whoever speaks first. God. Are you rolling, Aiden?
Yeah, I've been rolling for about 7 minutes.
Oh, I didn't know. I've been waiting for you. Shit. Welcome to Spicy Chicken Sandwich, everybody. I am your host for this session, Carter McClellan. And today we got Nathavius and we got Athavius. How about we start with some small talk?
Oh, God. Man,
It's been a long couple of weeks for me.
I just want one good intro.
Guys, welcome to Spicy Chicken Sandwich.
All right, now that we got a good intro, let's do a little bit of small talk.
I'm so sorry, future Aiden. I just peaked the audio so hard.
I hate everything.
I've had a bit of it some days.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Aiden, what about you?
Yeah, I just got back from Las Vegas. I had a vacation there. You only need like 2.5 days before you've kind of seen everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like 3 days or 4 days max is just enough, and any time longer than that doesn't even feel like a vacation.
Have you been to Vegas?
No. I just meant in vacations in general.
Oh, there's like an unspoken 3-day rule in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally agree, honestly. And I haven't been to Vegas either.
Guys, we
Yeah.
should go to Vegas this winter.
I think I could stand to never go back.
All right, well, did you gamble?
No, I didn't gamble.
Wow, okay.
But
Was
I
it
did.
like really greasy
But I
there?
did- No, it was pretty posh. There was a sushi place where each piece of sushi cost $25, so an entire
Hey.
lobster roll was about $175. That was pretty exciting.
God.
We left before they could serve us anything.
God, that sounds horrific.
Hope that chair felt nice on your ass.
Nah, it was a shit chair. I've I've been on a sabbatical from like YouTube and the internet and everything because both Pikmin 4 and Security Breach Ruin came out while I was unable to play them, and so no idea what's happened in the last week. And as soon as this is over, I'm probably going to play them both.
I would play Security Breach first before you get spoiled the hell.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen, even though I'd much rather play Pikmin 4. According to AlphaRed, it's the game of the year so far.
Really?
Which is pretty exciting.
I've heard it's the best Pikmin so far. Nate, did you want to maybe elongate
seriously, did nothing happen?
Well, I mean, yes, but I don't know if I want to expunge too much right now.
All right.
Explooge.
I don't know if I want to explooge too much right now.
You don't want to splooge all over us?
I'm so sorry. I've been eating so many baby carrots lately, flooding my gullet with them, and my health is just climbing. I feel like a god right now, physically at least.
You guys gotta do jumping jacks, but I can't see Aiden, so I'm just gonna have to trust him.
I am poised to succeed, and I hope that you're ready for me to succeed.
I'm ready, yeah.
God, this is gonna get cut down so much.
Dude,
this is the worst episode ever.
Dude, as I said, I haven't felt bombastic towards this episode yet.
We gotta climb up to banger status by like minute 40.
It got hot this week. It's been like 95 to 100 degrees out here, and it sucks ass.
As somebody who was just in Vegas, that must suck.
Yeah, it does suck. It's really bad.
Try 120, fuckwipe.
Jeez, it's been 120? God. Shut the fuck
Fuckwipe.
Fucking damn it. Friends came back from where they lived, and I've been helping them move into their new house. Except for that, I mean...
Okay, you know what? Here's something you can put in. There was a spark in my brain. Now there's something in there.
Yeah, thank God.
God, this episode sucks.
And you've probably seen the mobile game Battle Cats.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so...
Oh, God.
So I had known about it for a long time, but I kind of stayed away from it. I don't really do mobile games anymore. That's a phase of my life that's over, but I've been playing it this past week a lot, and that's probably part of the reason why I haven't had anything to talk about.
God damn.
It's not like it's been an obsession or anything, but I think it's very funny. It's not a good game. It's all charm and no substance, but I think there's some beauty in that.
Exactly.
I wouldn't recommend that anyone like go play it for fun. I don't know. It's goofy. It's a good way to waste my goddamn time. So I guess that's something I did. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad that we got something out of you.
All right, Carter, please move us along.
Cool. Well, because it's my episode, you know what time it is.
Oh boy,
what
do
time
I!
Is it?
Play that theme song.
Yeah.
Stop talking over me. Play that theme song. Stop it. Play that theme song. Stop it. There it was.
Man,
wow.
Now that's a banger.
All right, so today I got the infamous squid hat.
Fucking
you.
dick.
Well, it was the only hat that would work, and Nate will know why.
Apparently this time it's essential, which I have a hard time believing.
Yeah, I think it's smoke and mirrors.
He is cradling it like there's something massive in there.
All right.
Do I pull?
Yeah.
Is there only one thing?
There's multiple things in there.
Wait, what the fuck?
I'm scared.
I don't think there's anything in the... Oh,
no!
Oh, there's papers? What the fuck?
Yeah, there's papers in there.
I thought I wasn't feeling anything, but it's because he put a fucking scarf in there. 3 pieces of paper. How did that one get over there?
It flew, man.
3 pieces of paper. You don't get to touch them.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
You look at them.
All right, number 1.
Slowly opens it.
FNAF.
Wow.
Already not a fan.
Number 2, Omori.
Oh boy.
Number 3, Amnesia. So 3 horror game videos.
Huh.
And there's nothing indicating what the quality of the episode will be.
Favorability. I was gonna ask about that.
You know what's really funny? None of those papers mattered because we're doing a single topic. I threw the paper away because it doesn't matter. To set us all up, as Nathaniel already stated, all 3 of those games are horror games. This podcast episode, we will be doing it in 2 parts, with the topic surrounding fear. Fear. I'm going to just ask you guys questions, and you guys can just spitball stories regarding the topic of fear. And then near the end of the podcast, I'm going to ask you guys 5 questions, some of them informational, and some of them more personal. And whoever gets most of the multiple choice questions is the next podcast winner.
Okay.
So,
right.
Tell me, what is your biggest, most obvious fear?
Water.
Water. Oh, interesting.
Yep, I hate water. Like swimming, boats. I just fucking hate water.
Okay, that's interesting. I never knew that. I can't really predict that from you.
I didn't know. I guess mine would be like centipedes.
Oh.
Not millipedes?
Millipedes are like okay. Because millipedes are like, they look like sausages. The legs are all under them. And the freakiest part about centipedes and millipedes is just the absurd number of legs they have.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
So millipedes are like half circles and the legs are all underneath. Centipedes, they're like spreading the whole time, and that terrifies me because you can see all of their fucking legs. And those fuckers can get massive. I'm so glad that we don't get big ones here. Like fucking Australia. My God.
Yeah, they're super venomous too. Like if one bites you, you just fucking die.
I never knew that, actually. That scares me more.
I do take solace in knowing that the ones here are great for killing other pests, but my God, like I've never screamed higher than when I was just like sitting at home at like 14 years old and I saw one just fucking barreling across the room at me. That shit was fucking intense.
I don't think I have a lot of stories with like bugs and centipedes and stuff.
I already told you guys my best one.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that, yeah.
I guess if I had to pick a water story, it would be that I went on a cruise and I almost drowned in 3 separate bays.
Oh.
Wow. Whoa.
Okay, hi, it's Vinc. I'm doing the edit for this episode right now, and after working on it for a while, I've decided that I told this story really badly and I can't save it, so I'm gonna tell it now. The core reason I don't like water is because it changes the paradigm of how you exist and how you move around. You can't walk, you swim. You can't, duck, you float. And you're just kind of beholden to this substance that envelops you, willing to kill you, and for some reason everybody except me just thinks that's fine. It's like not being able to touch the bottom specifically. And even then, when you're half submerged in water, gravity feels different. Do a little bunny hop, you stay in the air a lot longer. And that just wigs me the fuck out. So, a couple of years ago, for reasons I'm not going to get into, about 17 members of my extended family all went on one cruise together, and it was a wonderful vacation with the exception of a couple of choice moments. The cruise we were on stopped in 3 separate places: Haiti, Jamaica, and Mexico, and I managed to be in life-threatening scenarios in all 3. The first one, Haiti, was probably the most harrowing of the bunch, I would say.
It's pronounced I-T.
4 of us went in this bay area with snorkels and goggles, and just started ambling around looking at all the natural coral and life, and it was really interesting. We saw fish, it was cool. But after some time out there, about 100 or so feet from shore, in between a bunch of rocks, I hear my older cousin yelp. I look over, and he said apparently he scraped his foot up really bad. And it hurts. He decided that he was going to stay out there so the young cousins, myself included, could all enjoy the ocean some more. I don't know if he kicked a rock or what, and then it happens again. Another cousin and my sister also feel a sharp pain in their feet, and it is at this moment that we all realize we are under attack. There is some wildlife that is trying to hurt us. In the panic of rushing paddling and nonsense, all of a sudden, my mask starts taking water. I cannot see. My snorkel is full of water. My feet are also getting nipped at. I can feel them bleeding. I can feel the salt from the water starting to make it sting really bad. No idea where I am, and shore is 100 feet in some direction I won't be able to find until I'm there. I try to drain the mask and put it back on. It won't seal right, and as far as I know, something is after me. So I start swimming in a big ol' helix pattern, just making progressively bigger and bigger circles until I hit rocks or land or something I can climb onto. I was using the sounds of the crowd on the beach to navigate back home. I flushed my eyes, I checked my foot. It had been messed up, and everybody, myself included, just had a bunch of needle-like pinpricks on the heels of their foot. And after some sleuthing, we figured out that what we had done was basically trample a family of sea urchins to death, and the wounds were completely fine. Nothing was even after us, and I almost died for nothing. In Jamaica, I held a jellyfish. It wasn't a murdery kind, thank goodness, but I've been told that they exist, and they look just like the safe ones, apparently. And in Cozumel, I could not find my Dramamine before we went on this little yacht to go check out the ocean. So I was on the top deck of this boat, just trying not to hurl for a good hour. Felt like days. And then after all of that, somehow, even though I hate water, it was bad enough to the point when they offered us to get into the water and snorkel again. It just seemed like the safer option. My mask took water again, and the dive instructors were really mad at me because they couldn't figure out why I kept drinking fish piss. So I spent the whole of that 45-minute snorkeling adventure with my head above water, not enjoying the scenery, with the exception of at the end when I decided just to push that thing against my face and keep a watertight seal. I got about 5 seconds per glance before the whole thing filled up, before I had to empty it again, and 2 visuals from that are going to haunt me until the day I die. One of which was a sea urchin that, I kid you not, was 6 feet across, inches from my feet, because the last one wasn't terrifying enough. The other one was when, after looking at this beautiful little reef full of fish and seaweed, I take a look down closer to the boat and I just see abyss. A seemingly bottomless pit of water and suffering. That image just seems to conjure in my head whenever I'm in a good mood to up and ruin it. Also, there was a manta ray. That guy was cool, that wasn't scary, but that's my story. I'll turn you back now to the rest of us.
I was just gonna ask if that was like your most terrifying experience that you've had, or
I did have a really freaky bug dream once. To preface this, you know how you can peel off an acorn shell and then it's got like the whitish interior?
Sure. No.
So I had this dream that there were massive fucking ants everywhere. Like ants the size of goddamn St. Bernards. I'm terrified out of my fucking ass. The most disgusting part that I always think back to is that when I would try to attack one to keep it back, like its exoskeleton like peeled off, and then it was like a different color underneath, and I was like,
oh, that's so gross.
yeah, that's it.
Hey Nate, for no reason at all, I think that our next movie we watch together should be Hereditary.
I don't know that.
Excellent.
It's my great story.
That reminded me, like, a couple of days ago while I was working, one of the guys, I'll leave his name unknown, found a bag of flaming hot Cheetos next to a lamppost. And he's like,
Oh shit, I've been hungry for so long.
and he started eating them. And I'm like, dude, that's probably not a good idea. And he's like,
No, it's fine, I'm hungry.
and like, after a while, I checked the bag and there's these, like, very small ants climbing in the bag. I'm like, dude. Yeah, it's really gross. I was like,
okay, I thought it was going to be maggots, and that would be worse.
no.
This is the maggot song.
That's still gross, yeah.
They were very camouflaged with the Cheetos. Looked like he was gonna throw up.
Yeah, that's gross.
Ran out of the fucking van. I was like, Jesus Christ.
What's your reaction when you experience fear? Like, what are your tics? Do you, like, shake? Do you, like...
You know me. I've been scared a few times in the times that the 3 of us have known each other. So usually my voice doesn't go that high. I can almost hit the high note and take on me. When I get scared...
It adds like 2 extra octaves. It's like my balls get sucked into my body.
And so, just for that brief moment, I have a lot more vocal range.
Yeah, fair. How about you, Aiden?
I just tend to freeze. Nothing exciting.
Freeze. Okay. When I anticipate that something bad's gonna happen, I usually just try to, like, walk away from it. Ooh, what was that one? What's the movie about the drummer?
Whiplash?
Whiplash, yeah.
Not my fucking tempo!
There were a lot of times where I just had to leave because I could not handle that, like, suspense and all that. Ugh.
It really takes you by the balls.
I recall that during one of the most intense scenes in another scary movie we watched, Requiem for a Dream, you started having a full-on conversation with your cat.
Yeah,
That
I
was
like
cool.
to distract myself or, like, walk away. Like, I can't handle that.
Ellen Burstyn is pouring her heart out in one of the most, like, emotionally resonant scenes ever, and you're just poking Pepper like, what are you thinking about? How are you doing?
Peppy!
I remember that so clear. We were both just like, Carter...
Dude, I just wanted to distract myself. I'm sorry. Jeez.
Has fear ever stopped you from doing something, and have you regretted it?
It seemed like it
Every
almost stopped
fucking
you from
day.
asking that.
Tell me about it.
Shit. So, like, you ever wanted to do a thing, but then your brain is like, yeah, but you're shit. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't consider that. And then this thing doesn't get done. No, just pile being afraid of every possible outcome. And then that's pretty much how
I can say something pretty similar about myself. I have a lot of gusto for things that do not matter. If we're doing some dumb shit in a video, or I'm just trying to, like, make a friend laugh, like, I'll do fucking anything. But then as soon as it's like, alright, let's get a girlfriend, or let's chase my dreams, I can't. It doesn't happen. Sometimes I get a little bit of confidence, and then the moment passes, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, but it's, like, it's alright.
Jeez. big one for me that you guys know about is my fear of like driving. I had a traumatic experience in the past and it kind of just didn't really motivate me to drive at all. I think I got my like learning permit in February and I'm 21 right now. So that was like a big step for me, but even between then and now, I haven't been able to drive because even when they're like, oh, hey, let's go driving, I really don't wish to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's like a need for me to get my license because, hey, I'm kind of stuck in this city and I can't really visit family right now. The only way that I could is by taking the bus or asking somebody else. And I don't really want to be an inconvenience to them, so I don't really do that.
So I'm often a bit too comfortable for my own good, I think. I don't like moving all the time, and I always justify not making big leaps with just, I mean, things are okay the way they are now. Like, it wouldn't hurt to stay like this.
If
like,
it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, like, I could improve it, but, like, I'm still kicking. I'm still breathing. Why should I put in any effort? And that's a horrible trait to have, but it's a hard one to kick.
That's understandable. I guess this is the final question before we get into multiple choice.
Do you know anybody who has a very strange fear that, like, caught you off guard?
Your fear of playing Double Dash with me.
Dude, I'm afraid that you're gonna beat me up after I beat your ass.
Somebody else with a strange fear?
Here, let me rephrase that.
Do you know of a fear that is kind of irrational to have?
Well, yeah, but I don't think that's going to be an interesting talking point.
Honestly, I think of, like, clowns. I guess I understand why people think clowns are scary because of fucking books and the movies and shit.
I think there actually is, like, a scientific reason. I don't know how rock solid it is, but it's like we're very good at unconsciously reading how people are feeling in a general sense. And, you know, the whole thing about clowns is, like, they're putting on a happy face when deep down they're fucking miserable because they're clowns.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
It's hard for people to articulate it because they're like, I don't know why this scares me, but it scares me. And it's because it's all a facade.
I never knew that.
Like, you know what genuinely wigs me out that's really irrational and stupid? Those people in suits at, like, theme parks. You know, like the Mickey Mouse is walking around and all that. Okay. Every time I see one, I just want to fucking get away. I don't want them to look at me. I don't want to have to interact with them.
The fucking Chuck E. Cheese guys.
Well, they're kind of there to, like, you know, interact with kids and take pictures, right? That's, like, why they're around. I just don't want to have to talk to that.
That reminds me of the time that first day of work, I worked at a convenience store or a grocery store. And my first job was connected to the grocery store. There was a restaurant that was owned by the establishment as well. And they were having an event where you guys are aware of, like, the PJ Masks, right? Like the small, like, kids show, Nickelodeon, I believe.
Oh, they're horrible character designs.
It was like a breakfast with the PJ Masks. My first job, it was me being in one of those suits.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and, like, saying hi to all the children and taking pictures with all the children for a good, like, 3-4 hours. It was very miserable.
Oh, God.
Some, like, children could see through, like, the mouth hole that I could see through. Just utter fear in their eyes as they saw, like, us. I was with 2 other people, obviously, and they felt the same exact fucking way.
Ew.
I just felt really bad for the children, and it was not a fun shift.
Yeah, scaring a child when you don't mean to is one of the worst feelings.
God, I was in the green one, which is apparently the most hated one out of the 3. I think it was like going with the other guys. I just felt really lonely.
Here's a story. Cut it if it's not true. Did I ever tell you how Sting got the name Sting?
No.
No.
Okay, so his first job, he was wearing a big B suit, and I guess it stuck.
Jesus.
You're half right. It was a black and yellow jumper with hoop stripes he wore when performing with the band the Phoenix Jazzmen early into his career.
All right, so now I have 5 questions for you guys. They are multiple choice questions. They are related to fear. If you guys get it wrong, nothing happens. I don't get a point because I've been fucking host so many fucking times.
I'm currently sitting at 2 wins.
2 wins. Whoever has the lowest amount of wins wins that if it is a tie. So, Aiden, you would win.
Okay.
One of them, I might be changing my mind for the answer because it's a personal.
So you might be making up answers.
That one's the last one, so don't worry about it. The first 4 are factual. All right.
If we catch him, like, ad-libbing an answer, that's going to be the greatest sense of vindication for me.
Oopsie. I guess it's... Also, Aiden goes first because he has 2 wins.
Number 1, what is the fear of sex?
Is it A, intimaphobia, B, erotophobia, C, sexisophobia, or D, coitophobia?
Oh, God.
It's gonna be the first one. Easy.
Think it's the first one? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so erotophobia, sexyphobia, and then coitophobia.
Coitophobia, yeah.
Okay, so they're all related. There's no weird ones. I feel like with a lot of phobia names, you'd have to know like the Latin name origin for the name to make any sense. And I think the one that would fit the bill the most in that regard would be erotophobia. So I'm going to go with option B.
Okay, so Aiden locks in A, and Nate locks in B. Nate, you are correct. It is erotophobia.
I am the best.
A was the one that I made up, like, on the spot. That's what I thought it was. And then I just looked up, like, sex names in different languages. So...
What a wonderful question.
It is a wonderful question.
I knew that because erotophobia is what everyone gets when they see me.
They just can't bear the awesome power of your penis.
Yeah.
Do not ever say that again.
Number 2, I feel like is kind of an easy one, but that's because I'm a psychology major. Aiden gets first pick because he has 0.
Wait, who gets second pick?
What is the most common fear in the world?
It's fear of public speaking, right?
Where does fear come from biologically?
A, the amygdala. B, the thalamus. C, the hypothalamus. Or D, the pituitary gland.
The nipples.
The nipples. The nipple
Lock it in
gland.
E.
Locking in E, the nipple gland.
It's the amygdala, I think. I'm gonna go with A.
A? Okay.
It's not the fucking pituitary gland. That's stupid. What are the other two? The thalamus and the hypothalamus?
Yeah.
I thought that was a cut of steak. I'm gonna go C.
C, the hypothalamus? Okay.
Sure, why not?
Nate picked the amygdala for A. Aiden picked the hypothalamus for C. Nate, you got it correct. It is the amygdala. Because the amygdala is the emotion center of the brain.
Yeah, I think I just had some residual knowledge from psych.
That'll do it. Number 4. This is going to be a handful of a question.
In 2021, the Chapman University gave a fear poll to 1,035 U.S. adults. According to the poll, which of the following fears was recorded the most?
A, a pandemic/major epidemic. B, loved ones contracting COVID-19. C, corrupt government officials. Or D, public spaces or agoraphobia. And you get first pick.
I think motherfuckers are selfish. I'm gonna go D.
D? Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where did you say this study was conducted?
Chapman University in 2021.
Where is that?
I don't know. I didn't do that much research on it.
Depending on the location, it might change my answer.
It's in the U.S. because it's U.S. adults.
I'm going to say not C, which is corrupt government officials. I feel like that's some conspiracy shit that most people wouldn't really jump to.
Okay.
So then it's either just the pandemic in general or loved ones getting the disease.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with B. I'll go with loved ones. I think that scares me.
None of you guys are correct. It is actually C. It is corrupt government officials.
Seriously?
Yeah, corrupt government officials got 79.6%. The second most one was loved ones contracting COVID-19, which is 58%. Pandemic major epidemic was 55.8%. And then D was actually the one that was not even listed.
It's not that I suck up to the U.S. government or anything. I just don't have the energy to devote to worrying about them. I guess that's interesting.
That is interesting. All right, so Nate, you're at 2. Your answer is not going to matter for the next question, but you will pick one anyway.
Okay.
Aiden, this is all up to you. Number 5.
This is totally subjective, and Carter will change his mind on the fly.
No, I'm not going to change my mind on the fly. It is marked. All right, number 5.
Out of the following fears, which one do I consider to be the most afraid of?
Is it A, the fear of dying, B, the fear of public spaces, C, the fear of imperfection, or D, the fear of driving?
Oh boy. The problem is I don't know how I would order my fears because they kind of trade priority as situations arise.
I will say one of these takes more priority over the others, and that's the one that I picked.
I'm gonna say that because of all the red tape in the way, I don't think you would say driving. What was A?
Fear of dying.
C feels right, but it also seems like it just seems really pompous to say that being imperfect is the single worst thing that can happen to you. Which is going to be a really big insult if I'm wrong. I'm going to go with A.
You're going to go with A? Okay. Nate?
A was the one that I ruled out immediately. Because you're a religious studies guy, it's your minor.
Major, yeah.
Shit. Sorry.
God, you don't know anything about me. The hell?
You really resonated with Buddhism, and I feel like a big thing about Buddhism is not being afraid to die. Kind of being content with a lot of things.
Are you a Buddhist?
Here and there, yeah, I guess.
What the fuck does that mean?
either way, whatever. I can't pick that one even if I tried. B is basic. The thing is, C, I think, is a very intrinsic part of you, and D is like a trauma thing. So I'm not really sure which would take priority over the other. I'm gonna say C. I feel like that's the most deeply rooted one, the imperfection one.
Okay, so Aiden picked A, fear of dying, or thanatophobia, and Nate picked C, fear of imperfection, or atelophobia. So, Aiden, Nate got it right, a fear of imperfection.
I am
So you are an
slamming your ass.
egomaniac. Fuck!
A little bit. I don't like making mistakes that much. Whenever I make a mistake, I feel really shitty for the rest of the day. Fear of driving, of course, is my second one, but that's a very situational fear.
I guess I'm more afraid of how my death would affect those around me, but I don't think that's really the same thing.
Fear of public spaces, I do feel that, obviously. For example, like, a big one is that Nate and I were going to Walmart with, I believe, and we were looking through, like, razors and shit, and somebody came up and was like, oh, hey, we do need to bring that up front. And I felt really worried that, like, for some reason, people would assume, because I was buying alcohol at the time, too, like, they were the minors and I was the only one who's 21, that they would, like, check you guys and that I would get in trouble for it. That was the fear that was happening. Because, yeah, I just didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't want to, like, I guess, in a sense, feel imperfect.
I was not aware of that dilemma at all. I was just really excited because I bought a bomb-ass nose hair trimmer.
Fearing for my life because I was like, oh shit, they're gonna catch me and they're gonna disprove
catch me.
Yeah, I know it's very stupid, but like, God, ugh.
I guess in my head I just have fear and worry in totally different camps. Like, I worry about shit that might happen, but it doesn't keep me up at night.
Yeah, I feel like imperfection keeps me up at night, and if I can't help myself, then I can't really like be that like helpful person, I guess, and I just feel bad.
I get that.
But yeah, I guess Nate, you won, so you will be the next host.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway.
I feel like this is such a sad episode.
Yeah, this is a real bummer.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like expected that, but...
Chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget.
No, you know what? Fuck you.
No, what?
Loser speech. I'm making a new segment for the loser. If the loser wishes, they can insert their own little JQs. I say that this episode is bunk because I lost, and you just gotta live with that. Fear still, but tell me a funny fear thing. Tell me something that makes you uncomfortable that would make me laugh at you.
Getting a big boner and fearing that my friends would see it. Hey, I made you laugh. Good.
I mean, honestly...
Yeah, that is a big fear that I have.
I might have to agree with you, because normally I wouldn't care. Like, I can tuck up and forget about it, but there was one time where I was sleeping over with a friend. We were just having a blast, but then we got up the next morning. I think it was like 11 in the morning. We're just like, we're fucking around. I'm kneeling, and I pop a little boner, and I have sweatpants on, and he's just like, dude, you got a boner. And I'm like, no,
I don't. That's just how big my flaccid cock is.
I think for some reason that event has compelled me to put so much effort into hiding my boners.
When I go on autopilot, I like really go on autopilot. So whenever I like snap back to reality, all my thoughts are like, did I do something uncouth? I didn't grope anybody on autopilot, did I?
Damn, I hate when that happens.
Because if monkey brain takes over, God knows what's possible. This is an actual question I ask myself very often.
Monkey brain activates, peels Nate's boner.
Dude, you sound like you touch yourself at night.
I'm not picky about time of day.
Oh, wait. No, actually, I got a really good one. I do not think that deer are scary, but there's a certain quality about them that, like, so you know how if a deer sees something move and it doesn't know what it is, it'll just, like, stare. Mm-hmm. If it notices you from far away, they'll just, like, peer at you. Mm-hmm. For some reason, that kind of imagery shows up in my subconscious a lot. It's that look that they give that barely has any, like, mindfulness behind it. I'm just like, oh my god, that thing is alive. I'm not scared of deer in the moment, but when I just think of that blank expression later, I'm like, there's nothing going on back there, and yet this is a beast of an animal that can run at ridiculous speeds and, you know, probably kick my nuts in. And for some reason, that's just really off-putting to me. Chicken nugget.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, I was in Vegas, so a lot of shit happened, but it's kind of hard to recommend, like, single spaces in Vegas. Okay, these aren't my recommendations, but I'm just gonna say it because I want to. So I saw Love and I saw One, former of which is like a Beatles Cirque du Soleil thing, and the latter of which is a Michael Jackson Cirque du Soleil thing. Now, I'm a big Beatle nut, so Love was like right up my alley. I got a little verklempt. I got emotional during Octopus's Garden because I'm a shit, and Michael Jackson 1 is legitimately one of the best things I've ever seen, and I bought a fedora that lights up because, again, still a shit. But as far as what I would recommend, on the plane ride there and back, I played and finished Superstar Ultra.
Ooh,
very fun
yeah.
game. I think that it's got very, very notable problems, but I think overall it's a really fun game. Great Cave Offensive is very special to me.
The best way to describe it is I think it's the perfect start point for a Kirby fan. That's what I started with. The original Superstar was very influential for the rest of the series, and Ultra is just a fucking better version of it. So, like, yeah, perfect if you want to get into the series.
Oh, also the Meta Knight one was cool. Both Meta Knight ones, actually. Whatever the...
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm really glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'll give it back to you. It only took me, 3 months to beat it? More?
Carter, do you have anything yet?
I've been on that Terraria grind, first of all. I've been playing Bloodborne, but I think I talked about that last session.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did talk about that.
Recommend Security Breach. Pissed me off.
Think about it really hard. Don't even listen to me right now. I'll just do mine. I haven't really talked about this facet of my being on the podcast, but both of you know that I'm a very big Pokemon fan. Been playing those games a long time, and the past couple main releases have been pretty controversial, so there's probably a good chunk of Pokemon fans out there looking for a good alternative. And so the past couple of weeks I've been playing a game called Cassette Beasts. If you're looking for something more mechanically deep, then yeah, Cassette Beasts is great. I have some hang-ups about the game. The ending kind of sucks, and the monster designs are not the best, but despite all that, the mechanics are pretty thoughtful. It's a pretty good game. I wouldn't say it's up there with the best of the Pokemons, but very solid. I got it on sale for pretty cheap, so if you want an alternative that bad and you just looking for anything, that'll hold you over for a while. Never gonna 100% it though. Those achievements look fucking brutal. Were you able to think of any media?
Nate and I have been slowly but steadily making a new board game. If you are unaware of what goes on in the InflatableTable YouTube channel, we have made 2 Pain or Gain videos. Pain or Gain is a board game I have made, and the first one sucked and the second one was actually okay. The third one, we have an idea, and it sounds actually very immersive, and it actually might work compared to the first 2 that, according to Aiden, the mini games were the best part. So I'm hoping that the board game itself works like a charm. If I wanted to recommend anything, I would recommend Tabletop Simulator, because that is what I use to make these. It's a very good simulator. It works really well. Of course, it has some hiccups, and sometimes I yell at it because it doesn't fucking drag. Other than that, it's nice, and you can go into the mods, you can go into the Steam Workshop, and you can, pick these stupid, there's Connect 1, I think it is. I love Connect 1. That's my favorite game. All you gotta do is put the chip in there, and then you win. It's
I'll vouch for Tabletop. I made a card game as well that, as we've played it over the years, has shown more and more cracks. Eventually, I'll have a vaguely playable version out, and maybe we'll get some more mileage out of that. But yeah, pretty easy to use tool. I would recommend it if you like that sort of thing.
Yeah, so then, I think Aiden's... Did he leave the chat, or...
He's actually gone. Now that's scary.
Shit, he left. He saw how poorly this podcast went.
Yeah, it was he did what you do. He coped by just running away.
Well, Nate, if you ever feel like it, you guys can partner on a podcast and ruin me.
This episode is so immersive. He really took all that advice to heart.
All that fear went into him, and he's fucking, funneling it. Yeah. Now I feel afraid that if I end this episode too early, he's gonna scream at me.
Most of this will probably be cut. Let's see if we can figure out something to talk about. Let's see if we can bounce off each other.
Yeah. How'd you like my format, by the way? I feel like, yeah, there are times where I play games and all that shit, but I feel like there are other times where, we need to go really deep and, explore how we feel and stuff, because even though we've been friends for, 3 years, basically?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a afraid to like, I just really want to speak my mind. I want you guys to speak your mind, see what happens.
Okay, yeah, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can do whatever you want on your episodes.
Yeah, I want to get deep.
We'll see how this one turns out in the edit. I think I know what I'm going to do for my episode, but we'll see. We'll see.
As said, feel free to invite Aiden as your guest and then fuck me over.
Just as the executive decision for the episode, I smite you and you're not in it.
I'm concerned about Aiden right now. I don't know where he's... Oh, yeah. Also, Aiden will be back at the house next podcast.
Yeah, and chances are when he is back, we will fuck up the audio somehow. That's how it always is when we change situations.
Also, happy 20th episode, everybody. It's been a whole lot of fun. Shut the fuck. It's been so many weeks since we've started this podcast, and for the people who actually listen, I thank you dearly.
Yeah, nice of you.
As you can probably tell, we don't do this for the listeners. We do this just to have... I mean, we do this for the listeners.
I'm not doing this for you.
Yeah, I just like recording my voice and then hearing it because that's my fear of imperfection. I think Aiden and I started to have this conversation. I don't regret starting this at all. I had some doubts about it, obviously, but I want to continue this.
Yeah, hey, whatever you're doing right now, you are so sexy right now. And thank you for listening.
So you guys are really hot, and he's probably going to cut all this out. It's fine.
What the fuck did I walk in on?
Oh my god, you're back.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Did you end the episode already? Or no?
We've been waiting for you.
Yeah, we wanted you here.
We wanted you here.
Sorry, my cat just took out a ceiling light and I had to fix it.
What?
I don't know. Sting just kind of leapt. At least I assume it was Sting because I don't think Vinc can jump.
So, are you ready to end?
I thought you guys already did.
I'll take us home. This has been the Spicy Chicken Sandwich Podcast. I'm Nathaniel.
I'm Carter.
I'm Vinc. Hi.
Thanks for sticking around until the end of this shit-flavored circus. Be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe there'll even be like highlights and stuff, because we're working on a format to post those.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Go have fun.
And if you don't like listening to this podcast on YouTube, you can listen to it on Spotify.
God damn it. Stop. We're done.
We're done. Bye.
Oh man, I'm sitting in my chair and I'm very bored because I don't have that many platforms to listen to this podcast on. I wish there was a solution.
Well, now you have it, sir.
Oh my god.
Hey, how are you doing?
How the fuck did you get in here?
Use the back door. If you wish... this sucks. I don't like this.
Oh, wow, didn't see you there. Sorry. Hey.
Ow! Hi, Aiden. What are you doing here?
Oh, nothing. Just subscribing to Spicy Chicken Sandwich on every platform it's available on.
What? I thought it was only on YouTube.
No, it's on so many platforms. Spotify, Google, Apple, Podcast, and many more.
What about Google Plus?
No.
No!
Hi, Nate. How are you doing?
Oh my god, what's up?
Did you know there's a new episode every other week?
What?
I know!
Holy fuck!
I only date girls who have subscribed on YouTube and Spotify. I can probably cut that into something.
Okay.